Welcome to the Big Biz Show. Taking care of business. You want fast-talking, hard-hitting discussions on business and finance? Maybe with a barroom slant and some really salty peanuts? We're not counting calories. We're counting cash. Before we get to the man with the financial plan, meet the money team. Costa, Mary, and Greg. Now Captain Finance himself, Sully.
Wherever you are watching, wherever you're listening, as I always like to say, a big old howdy. A big old howdy to you as the Big Biz Show gets rolling on a beautiful day here in Southern California. We're inside the Loft 100 studios. Hope everyone's having a great day. Costa, our executive producer, is Greg Todorov.
And a big hello, a big howdy to you, too.
The DTT, best in the business.
Have you ever in the history of your broadcast career, whether it be on the sidelines of a Major League Baseball or football game, or said a big howdy to you, Don? Back up to you, Bob. Back up to you, Bob Costas. Al, Al Michaels.
Al, he's got a severely sprained ankle, and I'm not sure he's going to be getting back into this game. A big old howdy to you. Let's go back to you. No, I've never done it. Hey, did you see James East's new shoes?
What?
Look at those babies.
What is that?
Wow, look at those.
What are those called? Those backward Nikes?
Yeah.
What is that? Those are very nice.
They're the new Filas.
Oh, Fila.
Are we all supposed to go step on them and scuff them up like these?
Remember in junior high school, you used to walk in brand new shoes, and they'd come and hammer you. Exactly. Let's get to our entrepreneur, right from New York City, Big Biz Show analyst, Howie Font. Howie, can you please explain to me did I hear that there was some fraud going on with the JP Morgan acquisition? First of all, set the stage for folks who don't know what the JP Morgan acquisition is. But there was something amiss going on here, and it's actually a pretty interesting story. It's kind of a made-for-TV movie thing here. Talk about it.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly how I'd describe it. It's kind of a Theranos 2.0, if you remember the Elizabeth Holmes saga. Did
you ever watch Elizabeth Holmes, the story about Elizabeth Theranos?
Mm-mm.
No, really? The book Bad Blood?
Okay.
Right.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You have not seen the documentary about Elizabeth Holmes and the company called Theranos?
No.
Okay, first of all, she was a billionaire because of a device. So this was her whole premise. From now, I'm going to remove the fear. No longer do people have to have fear of needles when they get blood taken. Okay, on the list of things that you're afraid of, okay?
Yeah.
Getting pulled over when you maybe had a beer.
Getting eaten by a shark.
Getting eaten by a shark in the middle of Texas, okay? Tidal wave in Illinois. Where does getting pricked with a pin when you, that was the selling. She created billions of dollars in equity based on bilking venture capital funds and private equity firms out of this box that could take one drop of blood and tell you everything about your DNA, which is a full shizzle show, complete fake.
Way.
She's in jail now, obviously, but you need to go see. It's been on Netflix, 3, 4, 5 years now, hasn't it, Howie?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just like that story, this one just got a conviction, so we've kind of wrapped up. The only thing left to see is what the actual sentencing is, so I can give you a whole overview.
So what was the gist here? What happened?
Yeah, so we had at the time the 29-year-old, she's now 32, Charlie Javice, was the founder of a platform called Frank that would help students apply for and get student loan financial aid of all kinds, from private, public. They just help you through the process.
And didn't she lie and say she had 4.25 million users and 175 million, so on and so on? I mean, it's just
so
BS.
You put up all these big numbers, and JP Morgan says, "Oh, that's a business we want to be in." They bought it from her in 2021 for $175 million. 29 years old. Crazy.
And didn't she have like 30,000 users or something like that? Or something like that?
That's it. So basically, JP Morgan really wanted to be the ones to close this deal. There was a lot of competition for it. They kind of had an abbreviated due diligence process, and it turns out she actually only had the 300,000 users.
Okay, stay there. I want to talk about how easy it is for these young people to have built these major banking organizations just based upon the momentum of popularity in the presses. It's amazing. Big Biz Show. See you in 1 second.
In over 175 countries, all the ships at sea on the American Forces Network. As always, a shout out. Great men and women of the United States Armed Forces, what you do, what you've done for us. Those men on stage, the world famous DTT. And back here at the bar, Costa, our executive producer, Greg Todorov, and Sully.
So back to Howie Font, and so this was Charlie Javice, I think her name was. She was 32-year-old founder of the student financial aid platform called Frank, and she falsely claimed her company had 4.25 million users to secure a $175 million acquisition by J.P. Morgan, akin to the Elizabeth Holmes Theranos debacle that happened several years ago. Both of which are going to be Elizabeth Holmes in the pokey already. And then this young lady's going. What I don't understand is, in conducting due diligence, when even purchasing a car, hey, they say it has an engine.
Right.
Wouldn't you pop the hood
Yeah.
to see if the engine was there? Howie, how did this actually happen?
When you have a really competitive deal like this one, a lot of people wanted to buy this company. When you have 0% interest rates and you can have free money and these valuations are so high, people get really loose with what's called the due diligence. Usually you have what's called a data room, and you go in there and you have to sign non-disclosure agreements, and everyone makes sure all of the numbers, all the accounting is up to snuff. This was basically a handshake agreement on the part of the JP Morgan acquisition team, and it's kind of agreed on in court and in the media that they really just kind of didn't do their jobs. They were told to close the deal by higher ups. So that's what happened.
Did I'm assuming a bunch of heads have rolled or will roll because of it?
She's going to jail after
She's going to jail,
a 5-week trial.
Mr. JP, standards and practices guy she's got to be gone, right?
So I haven't heard of anyone actually leaving, but it's more likely that they keep them, leave them in their contracts, and put them in a cold, dark office, never to be seen again, and just end their careers that way. If liability of saying, this was this person's fault, this was this person's fault. Well, actually, it was an institutional failure. So I think JP Morgan wants to keep those messy headlines out. But Mike, definitely some careers were ended.
Gotcha.
The interesting thing for me is, if I were to find myself in this position, overstating, and all of a sudden getting the world excited, and realizing this may happen, I would find a reason for it not to happen. I'd find a reason. Hey, look, because you realize at some point the shoe's going to drop.
Right.
You can't make an acquisition and say, "Oopsie." I would say, look, actually, I think it'd be better if we did a convertible note. Maybe have you invest some money in the deal. But I don't think, based on what we're finding internally, it wouldn't be right for you to say it's not time to. Which probably would have made it more appetizing. I'm assuming, but man.
Wouldn't that be failure to deliver?
No.
Right? There's products that you just purchased.
Yeah, but the point is, I wouldn't have let it purchase them yet. I mean, I would have been so afraid of, oh my God, careful what you wish for. These people are going to acquire me. What are you going to do when it's all over? These 6 months are going to be great. What happened to the next 60 years after that, though?
I don't know. If you can sell for 175 million, I think you try. I think the problem was they just upped it by more than 10 times what they actually had. They should have just acknowledged being a smaller company. They had some big investors that wanted them to, have a big liquidation event.
What if she had said? What if she had said, you know what? I'm embarrassed to say that based upon our internal research, we do not have 4.25 million users. We have had 4.25 million people inquire about it, but we only have about 1 million users or half a million users. I wonder if there still would have been a fervor. I bet there still would have. I bet there still would have been a fervor to acquire it.
Look, I think this is all. The main defense that Charlie Javice used in her CMO, her chief growth officer, used as well, was basically, this is just buyer's remorse. We gave you all the data. You had access to everything. And JP Morgan just did not check beforehand to verify, the customer base. They had a list of people, but obviously that was kind of falsely generated.
Howie, she thinks she's doing everything on the up and up.
No, she doesn't.
Is that how delusional she is?
No, she doesn't.
I did everything right.
Well,
she knows she's being a little bit tricky, but by disclosing it, what basically they did was her and her chief growth officer bought a bunch of emails and everything and added those and called them users. I think that's very easy to
Well, you could have defended that. You could have defended
verify.
it. Yeah.
You can't defend it, but it's very easy to verify. So if you give all that information to J.P. Morgan, biggest bank in the world by assets under management, and
I would have immediately
do their
changed
due diligence, maybe that's on them. Is your argument?
I would have immediately changed vernacular from users to user inquiries. We have 4-point user inquiries. I would have started using the word user inquiry.
That might have saved her.
I think it would have saved her. I would have no longer used users anymore. User inquiries. So I've told you user inquiries the whole time. User inquiries.
Yeah.
I mean, boy, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm going to start selling something.
So
Howie, she's only had this company for a few years. I would have been happy to sell it for $30 million. I mean, what do we?
Well, that's the point.
Need to run up the number for.
If she could have
build another company.
If she could have backpedaled a little bit to get herself closer to reality, to where it was, plausible deniability. I'm looking at.
But it begs the question: where's the money, Lebowski? Are they going to get the money back? Where's the $175 million?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, no, it's frozen in escrow and frozen with the courts. She can't touch it. She can't use it for her defense. No, that would almost be a fun part of everything if she converted it to Bitcoin a day later and
right,
bearer bonds
for 20 years. But when she's back, she's
Hey, let's turn the page for a second. When's the last time you went to a movie theater? For a long time.
6 months ago.
How about you?
I have kids.
Yeah.
There's a
when's the last time you went to a movie?
No, it was a Minions.
Saw a human on the
right?
screen.
It was the Minions.
I remember when my kids were little. I remember myself. I can't wait for the day I get to go to a movie theater and actually see a human on the screen.
Right.
Like a real person. So, how about you? Do you ever go to those boozy theaters?
Does a peep show booth count as a theater? So no, I haven't been to easily 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
I went to recently, but I always go to those theaters that have the parking loungers.
Yep.
Here's the deal: if you don't go to 11 a.m., you're sleeping through the movie.
Yep.
Because the bottom line is, if you go like at 3 p.m., okay,
it's over.
Have yourself a little snack.
Yep.
I don't care if it's Top Gun 10.
Yeah, a little Chardonnay.
You're like, like the whole thing.
Pretty much.
What's going on? AMC Theaters announced it was increasing the amount of premium format screens. What does that mean? Does that mean that we're going to pay more for movies, Howie?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely what it is. It's the difference between the standard kind of smaller theater and these new theaters that they charge you on average $17 for, and AMC's moving that from just below 10% of all of their screens to they want to do 25% by 2027. So it means overall increase in prices, especially for the big blockbuster movies that everyone goes to see.
Do they even have a theater now where they don't serve you food at the theater at the seat? Is that kind of the norm now, where you go there? Or?
I think AMC's. I think AMC's still you got to go to a snack bar.
I don't think that's the norm for most people. No, I think for you,
I don't know if I don't know if there's a theater around that doesn't have that sort of thing here. Can you find one?
I think
for the mega theaters.
Yeah, but I think AMC's you still have to go. You walk up to a snack bar. They don't come to you and take your order.
Yeah, of course.
Which I always liked, by the way.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, I mean,
no, they're not all restaurants. They're not all like Sinopolis or your places. The standard ones are kind of the classic scene still. They have 3,000 of those.
What's the average price for a ticket now? $17? $17?
Yeah, for these premium tickets, it's $17 Before that, a standard theater, what we would have just called a normal theater before, it was like $9, $9.
Remember during COVID, they would release a movie directly to video, right?
Yeah,
because nobody was allowed to go to the theater. I thought that was going to stick around.
Which they're all doing now. It's you see something in the theater, you're like, what?
Yeah.
It should be just
right.
Can I just
watch that at home?
Yeah, no, I mean, Scarlett Johansson had a big lawsuit with Disney over it.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys remember, but she said, hey, my contract says you get a theatrical release and you're not paying me for this Disney Plus stuff where you charge $30 for the whole family and you watch it for, 3 days, as many times as you want for 3 days. I don't know. I mean, we kind of have discussed this before, but I think it's probably cool to do a little family event, a little excursion, make it more premium. But
I think so too. I think you see.
It has to be nice.
Seven Dwarfs in the morning and Disney at night in the evening in the same theater.
Yep.
50 cents, 65 cents. My point is, will these AMC theaters, will they acquiesce to the high ticket club like Sinopolis and all those, or are they going to stick to the regular theater but still charge you $19 a seat?
Yeah, I think that you have to have both ends of the market, right? So you have the high end, it's dinner plus a movie, so you're willing to pay kind of what you would pay at a restaurant, and then a little multiple on top of that because you're at the movies. and also the low end. No, I just want the movie. I want the bare bones. Don't give me any amenities. I have popcorn and Frosty, and that's it.
Can I have one other question? Do you feel like if you were able to find let's say enough land, which I think would be hard, don't you think the old drive-in with new technology would kill people, would destroy?
People are crying.
100%.
Like food trucks there.
Yep.
Right, the whole thing, and an outdoor theater experience that actually had instead of the speakers you had to hang on your window,
Right.
that were like AM or
It cracked your
don't you
window
think that-
because it was that heavy metal
if
thing.
you
But
could
the
find the
audio
land to
quality
do
was
that,
horrible.
don't you think the outdoor drive-in would be a hit again?
Yeah,
I think so too.
and I think there's a lot more people crying for the drive-in to come back.
So too.
Yep.
Howie, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Howie Font.
He is our
Claremont 50 Cent. Those were the days.
Well, you realize he doesn't know what a drive-in is, right?
No, he doesn't.
Big Biz Show rolling on from the Loft 100 studio. So hope everyone's having a great day. Thanks for being with us. That's the Day Trader Trio up on that stage. I'm Costa. Greg Todoroff's our executive producer, and of course, Sully.
It's Ian Jenks, Chairman and CEO of Smart Kem, stock symbol SMTK, who was on air with us via Zoom and came in the studio. Apparently, we were his good luck charm, because right after he left us, he got to do something that very few people get to do. I'm going to bring him on right now. Ian, you've had a great 2 weeks, and we're going to take all the credit for being your good luck charm.
I think you absolutely should take all the credit, Sully, and the rest of the team. So I had a terrific week. So minding my own business at the Roth conference, you guys very kindly invited me to come down. So I came down, had a lovely time, went back, and there's a message at the hotel saying, get to New York. You're going to ring the opening bell on Friday.
I like that.
What?
There it is. Come on.
Oh, that's pretty
There
awesome.
it is, guys. There it is.
Fantastic.
And I have to tell you, thrill of a lifetime.
So how does that happen, first of all, and just off topic, because I want to talk about the company, but describe that whole process when you show up. That's got to be an honor.
It is absolutely awesome. But you guys, you're used to television studios. So, no, I arrived there, you get met by the producer, and you've only had a couple of days' notice. So you end up going into a very expansive green room, and you've gathered your small team of people that you can take in at such short notice, and they tell you what's going on. And it's just so well organized. It runs absolutely seamlessly. You get to speak for 90 seconds, not 1 second longer, and then you get the countdown, and you hit the button and sign the screen, and then you go outside, middle of Times Square, and it's absolutely freaked me out. I was standing there, and behind me is an image of me 100 feet tall.
You know,
I was very glad I'd used my concealer.
What's interesting is you uplisted just in March 2024, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that was
May of 2024, and so the way it works is that you get on the list, and the waiting list, believe it or not, can be up to 18 months.
Jeez.
And so when they ring you up and say, "Hey, we have a slot," then you take it.
Well, and they don't let you have that unless you're moving the ball down the field, so to speak. So
Absolutely. And so, I mean, they have a committee. The committee looks at it, sees how everybody's doing, sees what you're doing is interesting. And if you tick all of those boxes, then you get invited.
Hey, Ian, so you folks are moving the needle and actually the entire industry in terms of displays. I want to talk about the recent MOU sign, but for the folks that haven't seen you before on the air, give us a quick overview of what Smart Kem does and how it's a little bit different than the rest of the industry real quickly, so I can move on and talk about some of the things you've accomplished.
We make transistors out of polymers, and those polymers are unique and proprietary to us. So we make transistors, and we make them in huge sheets, so sort of by the square yard. They have some unique properties that allow them to drive the colored bits on a TV screen, and in particular, they allow us to make things called micro LEDs. This is the next generation of displays. Now it's what I call the next generation. We know it's going to happen because we all have that calibrated eyeball. We can all look at the TVs and go, wow, that's the one we want. And as time goes on, we'll end up being able to hopefully make a next generation of micro LED TVs, including ones that are transparent, so see-through TVs. It's kind of cool.
That's amazing.
Ian Jenks is the chairman and CEO of Smart Kem, their ticker symbol SMTK. Ian, how long was the time period from somebody saying, hey, I think we can do this, to actually doing it?
Well, I never said it was easy. So it was 10 years and about $100 million.
Wow.
And after that 10 years, $100 million, now we're seeing you sign MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with RIT Display, a Taiwanese display manufacturer. This is a pretty big milestone here. Talk about that.
It is. So we've been working with RIT Display now for 3 years. We signed a joint development agreement followed by a technology transfer agreement. And this MOU is to work together to take one of their existing production lines and convert it into a production-ready line on which we can make prototypes for their customers utilizing our transistor technology.
Ian, I have to ask you, because every time we talk to you, you sort of tell us something's going to happen, then it happens, and obviously it has taken a bit to get here, but now you're sort of here, and it's a good place to be. So what's coming up in the future? I heard you when you were in studio, sort of saying you would hint about talking about a MIP. What's a MIP, and what does that mean for you guys in the future?
Okay, so what I've talked to you about is the route to commercialization, and I'm a great believer. Take the easiest way possible. If you want to put micro LEDs all over a TV screen, that's 25 million of them, and you've got to put 25 million transistors. And yes, we can solve that problem, but it takes time to take those sorts of things to the market. So the simplest thing you can do with a micro LED is put them in groups of 4, and then you can use our technology actually to make that an individual thing. So it's a micro LED in a package. And then you can use existing types of pick and place machines to make big signage displays. So it's just a way of getting into the market.
Hey, Ian, when you talk about commercialization, are we talking about B2B, B2C, or all the above, or does this change everything, including displays we see in major sporting events and so on and so forth?
So definitely the latter. So we hope it will literally change the world as you see it, and starting with big signage displays in sporting events and shopping malls and those sorts of things. And it's very for what we do. It's very much a B2B sale.
Wow.
So what would I call a brown bottle company? We sell buckets of, hopefully by the ton, buckets of polymer that are then processed on these production lines.
And how long do you think it'll be before we as consumers get to see the labors of the fruits of your labors?
Well, fingers crossed, maybe towards the end of next year.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. And then my next question is, since technology moves at the speed of light, you're sort of ahead of the game here, which I'm assuming the last 10 years you've been trying to catch up to, because technology, just right as you get there, technology changes again. That's a big piece of this, is it not?
It does. And, with any company, you're trying to time the arrival of your technology at a level of quality together with the demand for the market. And so if you look at the convergence of what we call backplane technology, which is the transistors that we make, together with the arrival of the micro LEDs of a production quality and a price that matter, it's starting to happen now. And the forecast is there'll be micro LED displays of between, depending on which report you read, between $4 and $12 billion worth over the next few years.
Super fascinating watching this happen as he tells us what's going on. It's happening at the same time. Ian, always great to have you on.
Ian Jenks, Chairman, CEO, Smart Kem, ticker symbol is SMTK. Much more of the Big Biz coming your way. Very special thing we're going to do here on the Big Biz Show today. It's not often that you're able to kind of peer in and see what goes on during a typical board meeting with a publicly held company, but a company and a person who has quickly become one of our favorites here on the Big Biz Show. Dr. Shane Schaffer, CEO, Chairman of Cingulate, is allowing us to kind of peel back the curtain this morning and watch what goes on in a typical board meeting with his company. I'd like to welcome Dr. Schaffer and the rest of the board there at Cingulate here to the Big Biz Show once again. Shane, thank you so much for this incredible access, allowing us here on the Big Biz Show and our worldwide audience to listen and see what goes on in a typical meeting with you and your cohorts there. How you been?
Doing great. Not only is it a great day to be here with the team and conduct an important board meeting, but it's also opening day. So hope everyone gets a chance to enjoy some baseball later today. But I appreciate you guys having us on as always, and I figured it was probably time that you guys didn't have to look at me all the time. And so it's a great opportunity for me to kind of introduce you to the people that not only behind the scenes make all of this great things that Cingulate is doing happen, but show sort of the tremendous support we have from an exceptional group of board members that are joining me here today. So thanks for having us here.
Absolutely. I have to be honest, if this was the board meeting of a company I own, you'd zoom in and people would be throwing food at one another. There'd be someone standing on the table juggling flaming knives. It would be totally chaos. So I'm glad that it's you who we are zooming in with and the rest of the people that make Cingulate be able to help, as you have talked about on our show before, changing people's lives with what you and your company are doing. Before we go around the room and you introduce us to some of your board members, maybe just quickly for people who might be tuning in for the very first time, just tell those people exactly what you're accomplishing with this great company.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the number one thing to think of when you think Cingulate is what we're trying to do and what we're showing that we can do is really optimize patients' lives through the therapies that they're, and sometimes in many cases, already taking. We've built a drug delivery platform from the ground up. It was never our intention to do that, but we found out if we wanted to actually fix problems, overcome unmet needs, and actually improve the lives of patients while also improving the overall healthcare system, we had to build this platform so that we now have the opportunity to deliver the right medications to the right patients in the right dose and the right ratio and the right style. And that's what we've done here. We look at issues such as, abuse and diversion of ADHD meds, overprescribing in certain cases, ineffective medications after noon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the need for booster doses. In anxiety, we're looking at the suboptimal outcomes of a really good product that unfortunately has to be taken 2 to 3 times a day. And we're going to expand this into movement disorders, which is such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and insomnia and xerostomia. We have a really exciting company here. What we've been doing thus far in ADHD has been really unprecedented in terms of our ability to overcome 8 unmet medical needs in a therapeutic area that's been around for 70 years. So we're really excited about the future. We're getting ready we're actually going to the FDA next week to meet with those folks and get our NDA green light. Our new drug application green light. So a lot of great things coming for the company.
If you can, Shane, maybe introduce us to those people sitting around the table with you. And I know there's a lot of other very important people in your life in the room with you as well.
Yeah, you got it. So, typically we'll do, you do about 5 board meetings per year in terms of your formalized board meetings. As anyone would expect, topics arise where you have to do ad hoc meetings, and our board is, one that within an hour's notice, these guys and ladies will jump on the phone and we'll be ready to tackle any business. In the room today, we're doing a virtual board meeting today, so we are on Zoom. But in the room with me today is my Chief Operating Officer, Lori Myers, Jenny Callahan, our Chief Financial Officer, and then our Vice President of Public Investor and Government Relations, Thomas Dalton. Other members of our management team you may see out there are Jeff Pitts, Jeff Bennett, and Matt Brahms and Raul Silva, our medical and science directors. So they're proud to have those guys here with us. We also have Michael Lerner, who's the head of the life sciences group at Lowenstein Sandler, a fantastic firm that has been with us since from the very beginning, frankly. So we have a full hands on deck. When you take a look at our board of directors, it really kind of starts with an exceptional individual, Peter Worth, who's been just instrumental in helping Cingulate from 2015 on, in terms of not only his financial support, but his tremendous intellect and knowledge and relationships. He's joined by two members of the Worth Family Investment Associates group, Vinny Asaro and Mushan Lurik. And then we have our three independent directors, Jay Roberts. And Jay, if you want to come off mute, and Jeff and Brian, maybe say hello. Peter and I have done several conversations. Maybe you get a chance to say hi and introduce yourself.
Hi, thank you, Shane. I'll start. So Jay Roberts, a member of the board and chairman of the audit committee. I've been in life science and healthcare for a little bit over 30 years, but I have to say, Cingulate and this management team makes us as a board incredibly proud about how much they've accomplished, the ability to execute against this business plan, and we're very, very excited about the future.
Jay, a question for you, and thank you for popping on here on the Big Biz Show. The greatest companies in the world, the greatest teams in the world, the greatest units, be it in wartime, business time, it doesn't matter, are normally the ones where people have surrounded themselves with not just yes women and men, but people who cause maybe the CEO or the board of directors to either think outside of the box or to think about another way to go about things, not always saying yes, but saying, hey, I think there might be a better way to do it, or I don't think we should do it that way. Is that the way it goes with Cingulate?
100%. And this board has certainly challenged the management team on many issues along the way. And I don't think that anybody, I can speak on behalf of my colleagues, fellow board members, we're not afraid to make people uncomfortable. And that happens from time to time. But we're also highly supportive of this group. And again, their ability to execute has been stupendous. And so we support everything that they're doing.
Jay, appreciate it, and thank you for popping on and letting the Big Biz world meet you. Shane, when you call these board meetings together, give us a typical rundown of the minutes. Is it normally you kind of know what you're going to go into, or there are the occasions where, hey, everybody hands on deck, we've got to take care of this drastic problem right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. For board meetings, the number one thing you want to make sure you're doing is not surprising, anyone with what's happening.
Sure.
And that's one of the things I'll say, and commend Jay, Jeff, Brian, and Peter on. We talk on a weekly basis, so we're always communicating about what's going on. And Jay's right. There's no afraid characteristics of not challenging the management team. These guys do a great job of that, which just makes us better. But our typical board meeting, you go through sort of the state of the company, what's going on, what are our near-term inflection points, where are our assets at in development. You're looking at a clinical, a regulatory, and a manufacturing perspective. You obviously do a lot of forecasting as well around what these products could look like and how they could perform in the marketplace. Take a look at your competitive set as well. We talk about business development and licensing. As you guys know, we've been meeting with a lot of companies in and outside the United States that are very interested in these assets. You talk about patents and then any legal issues. Jay serves on the audit committee. He's our chairman there. Brian is our chairman of our compensation committee. And Jeff Irvin, you talk about governance. There's no one better that I'd have in that position than Jeff Irvin, who handles our nominating and governance committee. So those are a few of the topics. Obviously, you go through financials. You can't avoid
Sure.
that. And we have three great independent directors, and Peter as well, that have just tremendous financial expertise. Maybe if you can, if we have some time, I'd love to introduce you to another board member.
Please do.
Jeff Irvin, how about you want to say hello? I think Jeff, you've been on the show before.
It's been a while. Good to see you, Sully.
Jeff, actually, it's Mike Costa. Sully is taking care of a broken crown at the dentist's office right now. So you guys got stuck with me. Jeff, I'm curious, We've had Shane in studio before, and he lights up the whole place when he comes in because he is just so passionate about what you and the team and Cingulate are doing for people with ADHD and being able to literally change their lives in a much better way. How hard is it, though, to stay in that one lane for the time being? Because you can let your mind wander and think, whoa, we should be doing this, and we can do that, and we can do this. I mean, how hard is it to contain that excitement about what you might be able to do in the future?
Well, Shane has a natural energy about him, and so containing the energy is not necessarily the board's responsibility, but we certainly try to keep everything in track with our goals and missions, and keep that front and center for whatever we're trying to achieve. And we think that the mission is pretty clearly laid out for the board to hold the management team up to. So we think that that excitement is certainly within the company. And we think that precision time release technology, could certainly be relevant to other medications and drugs in the marketplace. But we've made most progress there on ADHD, and so that's where our focus is right now.
All right, we are so fortunate to be looking in live with the board members of Cingulate, CEO and Chairman Shane Schaffer, giving us special access today here on the Big Biz Show. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, what happens when all the minds don't see eye to eye? We'll find out about that as the Big Biz Show continues. Keep it here. The best in the business, the day trader trio. A very special day here on the Big Biz Show. Chairman and CEO of Cingulate, Dr. Shane Schaffer, has allowed us to peek in live at a board meeting as it's taking place within the company. Of course, their ticker symbol is CING. They are a publicly held company, so obviously there are certain things that Shane and his team are not going to be able to discuss with us. But we go back to Kansas City and meet up once again with Dr. Schaffer and his team there. And Shane, you've got some other individuals you'd like to highlight for our worldwide audience today here on the Big Biz Show. Please go ahead.
You got it. I'll go to Dr. Brian Lawrence, who's joined our board with Jeff and Jay about a year ago now. So, Brian, how you doing?
I'm great. Hey, I'm glad to be here. Brian Lawrence. So I've really been impressed by the Cingulate team and how accessible everyone is. Like Shane says, we're all busy, but we find time to get together for the important topics and important discussions. And my background is more clinical, pharmacy and career in the pharmaceutical industry and working with customers on market access. So I think the board brings varying perspectives, and that makes us strong too.
Doctor, how long did it take you after you joined for that light bulb to go on? Or maybe it went on immediately when Shane started talking about what they were doing at Cingulate for you, that you're like, whoa, this is something I definitely want to be involved with.
Yeah, I mean, especially with a clinical background, patients adhering to medication and being able to take medication that's effective is so important, clinically, but also socially and economically. This is the kind of drug that can, make people more productive at school and work. Sure. That's costing the system money if it's not treated appropriately. So, when I came on, it was a really exciting company to be a part of.
Thank you for joining the Big Biz Show today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Shane, anybody else?
Yeah, last but definitely not least, definitely want to introduce you guys to Mr. Peter Wirth. And Peter is his reputation and his experience and success speaks for itself. But he evaluates so many companies along with his team, Mushan and Vinny, and they've built a tremendous organization in Chemworth, which is multinational. So, Peter, it's been a pleasure. God, it's almost been a decade now. But Mike, take it from here. This is Peter Wirth.
Peter, thank you so much for joining the Big Biz Show today. I'm sure a person in your position, you've had that Gordon Gekko experience where you said, I look at 1,000 deals a day and maybe I'll pick one or talk about one. Talk about how you became involved with Shane and Cingulate and how that journey has been for you, sir.
Well, actually, I'm a little bit different. I look at one or two or three. Pretty much it has something to do with the chemistry and the treatment and how much good it can do in the world. And so this was an easy one because of the technology to develop this 5-layer tablet, which nobody else has ever been able to do. And it's treating ADHD, which will eliminate 50,000 women from overdosing and hopefully save lives. And it has the capability of almost every drug that is taken by twice a day or 3 times a day to make it a once-a-day tablet. So it's got all kinds of upside. And I had a little money saved away, so I invested in this company and hope it goes up 1 million times or 10 million times, whatever we invest. I think it's just a super company. And we got a great staff. And at this point, I think, got over the threshold. We got enough money to get it approved. And from there on, there's going to be the sky's the limit.
I agree with you, sir. The sky is the limit. Thank you so much for joining everybody on the Big Biz show today and letting us talk to you for a bit. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Shane, as we wrap up, and again, thank you so much, Dr. Shane Schaffer of Cingulate and his team, letting us peer into what goes on in the midst of a board meeting in the public sector as far as a pharmaceutical company is concerned. Shane, when all the minds aren't seeing eye to eye and someone's got a very strong opinion about something, someone is saying, wait, no, I don't think we should do that. Are you the grand arbiter? Or are you the final, does the buck stop with you, I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Well, sadly, the buck may stop here, but at the end of the day, I look at those situations as what a benefit it is to have different experiences, different diversity of thought, different types of perspectives on things. We're 80% complete with our board meeting today, and every topic has had good conversation and discussion about have we considered this? Could we do this differently? What if we looked at this? And not everything is unanimous. And at the end of the day, democracy does take its toll. Does win out. I don't have any special votes in terms of double or triple votes. I vote as one individual, as does everyone on this board. And those types of opportunities, though, where we do challenge each other, that's a good thing. You come to a better conclusion, a better decision, and you learn from those decisions as well. So this board is definitely one that likes to have a good conversation to make sure we're doing the right thing for our shareholders. We want to help people across the board and ADHD and throughout. We're excited about our cash runway into the fourth quarter. We're really just looking forward to bringing a great product to help millions of patients' lives in the United States and millions more around the world.
We have about a minute left, and for what's left of 2025, and my gosh, we're already into the second quarter here.
Right.
What's if you look into your crystal ball, what do you think is going to happen with Cingulate?
Well, certainly our lead asset. We have a very high probability of getting this product submitted in the late July, early August timeframe. We're going to know more next week.
Sure.
So keep your eyes on Cingulate as we keep our investors and shareholders educated and informed on what's going on. This product is something that really can have a high impact on patients' lives. We're looking at our other assets in our pipeline. We talked about the anxiety product. There's a second ADHD product, which really could cover another half of this $23 billion market with an exceptional product. Companies are interested in the PTR platform, as Mr. Irvin stated, and taking a look at what we could potentially license there. It's been a tough 4 years from being a public company.
Sure.
But I believe biotech and pharma are starting to turn the corner. There's a lot of enthusiasm out there. And what we're going to do is just keep our heads down, focus on the lead asset, and get our product to market as efficiently as possible.
It goes without saying how honored we are. Thank you so much for letting us, eavesdrop on your board meeting today. As I said, you are one of our favorite guests. You're one of our favorite companies on the Big Biz Show, and we wish you nothing but success in the future. Thanks, Shane.
Mike, really appreciate it. Thanks. Hope Sully's doing well with that too.
You betcha.
Enjoy opening day, and thanks for your support. We really enjoyed it.
Always. Shane Schaffer with Cingulate. Special look in today here on the Big Biz Show. That's going to do it for the Big Biz Show. For everybody who makes the show possible, thank you. We'll see you next time.